Hi, my name's Abby Ford.
I'm Emily Ham,
And I'm Pro One.
and we're very excited to share our customer loyalty and spending improvement plan for the Vintage Weekend with you today.
So today we're going to be talking about 7 topics. Those are business description, target market, methods used to design research study, data interpretation, strategies and approaches for leading change, key performance metrics, and proposed budget. The Vintage Weekend is a small local business in downtown Somerset, Kentucky, and it has a product mix of men's and women's vintage 80s and 90s thrifted clothing and accessories, such as Levi jeans and vintage sweatshirts. The owner of the Vintage Weekend is Kendra Newton, and she obtains her products through thrift stores across Kentucky and even reworks some of her pieces by bleaching, cropping, or distressing them.
The Vintage Weekend's target market includes demographics, geographics, and psychographics. For the demographics, we focus on millennials and Gen Z, especially high school and college kids. For the geographics, it's Pulaski County and surrounding areas because the Vintage Weekend is located in downtown Somerset. For the psychographics, it focuses on people who have an interest in fashion and are looking to stay environmentally conscious, which you can do through thrifting. For when we designed our research study, we decided to do a customer survey and an owner interview. For the customer survey, we asked 13 questions. We asked 8 forced questions, 3 yes or no questions, 2 rating scale questions, and we also had a comment section. For the owner interview, we asked Ms. Newton 5 open-ended questions.
So for the methods used to design the research study, we did 3 types of research, which were a customer survey given at the store, a customer survey given through a Google Classroom form, and an owner interview. For the customer survey at the store and the Google Classroom survey, we did it from November 18th through December 5th. And then the owner interview was conducted on November 30th. We gave 50 surveys at the store and we got 22 back. And there was an unlimited amount of surveys for the Google form and we got 36 back, which made 58 total surveys.
When we got our survey results back, we came to a few conclusions. We found that 53% of customers use quality to determine product loyalty. Incentives would positively influence 90% of customers' buying habits. 60% of customers would be more loyal due to sales. 60% of customers would like to see styling services added to provided services. 40% of customers would like to see gift wrapping added to provided services. And 95% of customers would be more loyal to the Vintage Weekend if they introduced a website. We also found that 66% of the Vintage Weekend's customers that filled out the surveys were the age range of 0 to 18 years old.
We used the strategies and approaches for leading change through the acronym WEEKEND, which we came up with from the information we got from our surveys. WEEKEND stands for Weave New Services into Store Offerings, Kickstart a Website, Narrow Product Selection, and Develop New Loyalty Initiatives. Under that acronym, we've came up with 5 solutions for you today. Under Weave New Services into Store Offerings, the first solution is to offer styling services throughout the store. We suggest that Ms. Newton offer services throughout the store with customers ask and also through email. For the second solution, we suggest that Ms. Newton offer gift wrapping. For the gift wrapping, 40% of customers said that they would increase their customer loyalty and spending if we offer them. For the second objective, we suggest that Ms. Newton create a website. 95% of the Vintage Weekend customers who completed the survey indicated that they would be more loyal to the store if they had a website. And a lot of the customers at the Vintage Weekend couldn't shop during COVID because they didn't have access to the store. And if they were able to shop online she would have more spending. For narrow product selection, we suggest that Ms. Newton create a system to narrow products with low quality. To do so, every tag of the clothing item she has would have a different color-coordinated sticker that corresponds to 4 different levels of clothing quality. First would be new with tag, second would be excellent condition, third would be moderate condition, and 4 would be compromised. The items that are compromised would have a discount, but I know from personal experience when we've shopped at the Vintage Weekend, we've come home with a few items that had some distressing or a rip or something that we didn't know was there before, so it would just be nice to know beforehand. Finally, for develop new loyalty initiatives, we suggest that Miss Newton introduce a loyalty card. We suggest that she use this loyalty card and give customers 5% off every time they use it. We also suggest that she has an email version of the loyalty card since most of the customers at the Vintage Weekend are younger and more likely to use electronics. We also came up with 3 ways to measure our planned success for you today. The first is repeat purchase rate, which is the number of customers who made a repeat purchase in the past year, divided by the total number of customers in the past year. Um, Getting an RPR graph will tell you how likely future customers are to purchase from the Vintage Weekend. For the second key performance metric, we suggest that she use a Net Promoter Score. This is a survey which has questions such as how likely are you to recommend the Vintage Weekend to a friend on a scale of 1 to 10? And you can use this to gauge customer loyalty, spending, or other habits. Finally, our last suggestion is a customer lifetime value, which is the annual revenue per customer times the customer relationship in years, which is divided by the customer acquisition cost. This indicates how loyal customers are and how much they're spending. Finally, we have a proposed budget for you today. We tried to keep in mind that the Vintage Weekend is a smaller business, so they have lower funding for their marketing and advertising endeavors. For styling services, these would cost $0 because Miss Newton's just doing them casually through the store and through email. For gift wrapping, it would cost $1.78 per package, which we got by dividing the cost of wrapping paper, boxes, and ribbon by the amount of boxes in a pack. The website costs would vary, but there are websites out there that allow website creation for others for free. So this is really dependent on what Miss Newton wants to do and how in-depth she wants to get, but there are zero cost options out there. For the narrowing product solution, it'll cost less than a cent per clothing item, which we got by dividing the cost of a pack of stickers by the amount of stickers in a pack. And then finally, for the loyalty card, it would be 5% times the amount purchased by cardholders. And we didn't associate a cost of the physical card with the loyalty card because we assume that most customers will use the electronic option. We were so excited to share our customer loyalty and spending project for the Vintage Weekend with you today. Do you have any questions?